Deathwatch.
So we don't see anything at first. What we hear is Phil Jenkins telling somebody to stop, don't come any closer. He's repeating it, and it's getting more frantic. And the last one he utters almost has like a pleading quality to it. And then we hear the report of a shotgun. And now we're treated to the perspective of the Jenkins brothers as they're gathered outside the foreman's hut there. And they're looking on as Phil has just blasted a man walking towards him. Or maybe not a man, because the shotgun blast has reduced the front of his coat to so much lint and fluff. And you can see that those pellets have chewed up his stomach in bloodless wounds. And then you see blue and purple coils of innards sort of drape down across his knees and feet, but he still walks forward. Let's start with Chuck.
Okay. Now, if I remember, you had described that he had simply smiled and said something.
Yes.
That's not really friendly or something like that?
I think we're a little past that now.
Oh, okay.
Or beyond that now. But actually, before you act, witnessing this event is traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've seen... Well, Phil's seen more of it. Sometimes you'll shoot an animal and they can go on a ways injured, but it's not as common with people. So
to say the least.
Right. But anyhow, so let's get a sanity roll from you.
From all of us?
We'll just do Chuck to start, but yes.
That means if we can take care of this before it gets our turn, we don't have to roll it.
So your mind can't quite handle... Let me make sure I got that amount right. Yeah. So you lose 8 points of sanity.
Okay.
Which puts you into a bout of madness.
Okay.
All right. So you already have an issue with violence in general.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you understood there's a bit of finality to it. And seeing this man go beyond what appear to be human limits really pushes you over the edge. And beyond just your, maybe not a fear of violence, you now have this intense fear of death and the dead. So basically, you are going to act as though you have a phobia against things that appear to be dead, even if they're up moving like this guy is.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm going to assume control of your character. This is going to last... Put this in here.
2 years.
Thanks for playing, Brandon. See you soon.
Why didn't that work right? Yeah, so it'll last for 7 rounds. And that should count us down each round.
Okay.
So for your action, you're just going to make for an opening off to the west there.
Okay.
Try to get away from this. You've forgotten that you're with your brothers. You've forgotten anything but this man who should be either killed outright or on the ground dying, but he still seems to be pressing forward. Howard, I believe at the end of the last one you had readied your weapon.
Yeah.
Which if you would choose to fire, you act at a dexterity count higher or 50 higher than where you currently go.
Yeah, they are still coming at fire.
Well, let's get your sanity roll.
Okay.
You put another round in me.
Yeah. They both failed anyway.
So you lose 3 points of sanity. And as if you recall, you are in a state of underlying insanity, and any further sanity loss will push you over the edge. So for your something, this breaks you even further, and you grasp at a wild thought in the back of your head that this whole, as soon as you notified, you sent out the wire to your brothers that you were going to come back for a visit. You have this thought that maybe they put together this elaborate ruse, and everything that you have done has been part of their elaborate ruse. So you actually lower your weapon and you say, all right, that's enough, brothers. What is going on here?
We have been picking on them.
Right.
Yeah, they refuse to see the Civil War family in there.
All right, Dan. So you, mercifully, blessedly, you're far enough away that you can't quite make out what's happened. And you're preoccupied with this man, Carl, who's, still coming after you, trying to get a hold of you. In your last action, you had skirted away from him a little bit. What did you want to do?
So, if I remember right, I was in between the buildings by, what would that be, 4 and 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how much room how much of a lead do I have on him? Or does he have a hold of me at all?
You can get away from him if you want to spend your action doing that. It's no problem.
Yeah, so what I want to do is cut between those two,
3 and 4.
yeah, the 3 and 4 there, and try and duck around. I'd like to come out. Where is everybody else at?
So do you see where it says party token by number 1?
Okay, yeah.
That's where the Jenkins brothers are.
Okay, yeah. So I would like to come out. The door was on that side too, right?
Yeah, it's on the north side.
Yeah. So I want to try and make it around, and basically I'll come out behind him. I'll give him a word of warning. Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna skirt around.
Stand, don't shoot.
Beside these huts before you even can get around to where they are. You actually see one of these surveyors is behind the hut that they're on the other side of, and he's sort of creeping along the wall there. And you're coming up behind him. In fact, you can actually get up behind him. What did you want to do at that point?
We'll try and get him in an old wrestling move.
Okay.
It's like what is that? Like a bare naked choke, right?
Yeah, so you just want to get up behind him and tie him up. So
Yeah.
he's aware of your approach. He turns to react. You can go ahead and throw out your brawl skill. So what we're doing is you're just trying to do a maneuver. So what I want you to do is, well, I think your definite goal is just to get a hold of this guy and hold him there, right?
Yeah.
So if you succeed, then your goal will be realized. All right, let's see how he does. He's just going to fend you off with some fists.
The fury.
These ones are fists of loving tenderness.
Okay, that's
What
better.
I call them on the left and right. How come you ain't part of the party token, John? You should have accepted our party invite.
I don't know how.
Accept invite, yo.
Where though?
All right, and he darn near fumbled it there. But yeah, you get a hold of him, and you got him tied up. He didn't have any weapons in his hand, and that's where we'll end with your turn. That will bring us to...
How do I do it?
I was joking.
All right, Phil.
All right.
Let's get your sanity roll.
Madness. That's your new name, Chuck Madness.
All right, so you only lose 1 point of sanity.
I think I'm still getting close to being temporary insane, aren't I? I've almost lost. Oh, crap. I didn't know it did that. How'd that happen?
What happened?
I mouse rolled the number up and down.
Which
I believe
number?
it was 57. There we go.
Now it's 59.
All right. So,
All right, so you just have a strong will, and it doesn't much matter if this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't much matter if it flies in the face of everything you know about the material world, and the fact that it places doubt on the aspect that when you die, your eternal soul either goes on to the pearly gates in the Silver City or onto a damnation, and you just brush it off, and you're able to act this turn. You saw he took that full blast from your shotgun. It definitely caused damage. What do you want to do?
how close are they?
So they're within 10 feet. Actually, I want to remind you guys, if you're using a weapon, this is something I want you to remember. You're in point blank range if it's within 1/5 of your dexterity. So you can always check for that. If it is in point blank range, then you'll get a bonus die to your roll. In this case, he's in point blank with your shotgun.
All right, so yeah, I don't like the idea of him being that close, but like, where is there to retreat to?
The clearest path, it looks like your brother Chuck actually took off in that way.
All right, let's. Is Howard looking like he's?
You heard him say, "All right, guys, this is enough."
Yeah, I'm figuring he's on having another of his episodes, but I don't really think I care about that because it's the. I don't know. I know I didn't get that much sanity loss, but this thing is
right.
Not natural.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, I'm going to just shoot it again. I'm going to try to take his head off.
All right. Go ahead, and you should be able to do the bonus thing now. You'll have one bonus die for the range.
Okay.
Nice.
So, just in case, right?
Yeah, so that's actually at 23. Not quite extreme to get the extreme damage, but we'll have to do another damage roll, so roll a 46 for me.
So 12. Is there a plus on that? I don't think so on the shotgun, right? Yeah.
All right, so this one you aim for his head, and the buckshot tears it up, makes it unrecognizable, and that seems to stop him. It kind of blows off the top part of his head into fragments, and this being, stumbles to its knees and falls flat on its face.
All right. Can I move? Or?
Yeah, you sure can.
I'm going to start trying to move towards the offices.
Okay.
All right.
Like the
one where Harris is, because I believe we left him tied up in there.
Yeah.
And my 30-06 is also in there. But,
okay.
No. And if I pass by Howard, I'm going to kind of start pushing him.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so it's no problem. You can move up to that office and call for Harris. He's like, what's going on out there?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. So let's move these guys. So if you remember, there was another guy flanking the guy you just shotgunned down, and he's actually going to move up to Howard, who's standing there.
I should say that I wouldn't have left him behind.
Right.
So.
Well, you didn't actually really leave anybody anywhere.
Yeah, okay.
But if you want to go to the step, you're just going to be behind him. That's the way things are situated.
Yeah, I just, wouldn't have left Howard just out there all alone. But, I get what you're saying.
All right, so this guy who is carrying a trowel comes up to you, Howard, and this is the moment where he's going to do the fake, get ready to attack and then drop it, and everybody's going to be like, silly city, man.
Despite the fact that I've already been shot once or twice now, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grazed in the head and shot in the chest.
All right, let's see how it does.
Good old insanity. Really?
All right, I'll go ahead and have you roll a dodge, but I'm going to give you a penalty dice to it since the state that you're in.
I can already almost guarantee I'm going to fail it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be like that, Joseph.
My dodge is horrible.
Just got to remember the 5 rules.
All right, so, you missed. So you take 5 points of damage. How many hit points do you have?
1. I've been shot twice and now hit in the head with a trowel.
Yeah, so what he goes, it's almost like he takes a moment to see where he's going to put the sharp end of this trowel into you, and he just sort of sticks it right into your throat. And there's a jet of blood, and then you drop to the ground. Okay, so if your HP is brought to 0 with a major wound, then your character is dying. Okay, so you're in the process of dying. So yeah, you're still not quite aware. It just doesn't feel real. I mean, you just felt mostly pressure, very slight sharp pain at first, and then you fall backwards and you're looking up at the bright daylight sky. There's not a cloud in sight.
And it's suddenly cold. So cold.
So I'm not quite dead yet. I'm dying, though.
Right. So let's go to Chuck. So you continue fleeing off to the east. Sorry, my counter's not working.
Towards the ocean?
Sorry, to the west. It's back towards the way you came.
Okay.
So you're scrambling up that hill now. All right. Dan, you hear somebody moving up from behind you. It's your turn.
So, excuse me. So, the guy that I had encountered who was trying to creep around, what is his status right now? As I was putting him in a chokehold.
So you have him in a chokehold.
Okay, but he's not choked out. Does he seem to be weakening at all?
Well, you got him pretty good. The goal that you were able to complete was getting a hold of him.
Okay.
So
do you want another? And how? Like, are they someone? I hear someone right behind me.
Yeah, coming up behind you.
So I'll try and spin us, me and this guy that I've got, so that we're facing back behind me.
Okay.
And then if that's successful, I'll try and shove him into whoever this is, as long as it's not one of the...
All right, so you want to spin the guy around and sort of like shove him towards the dude coming at you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make your brawl. So he's resisting. He's putting up a fight. He got an extreme success.
All right, so it doesn't look like I had succeeded on swinging him around and pushing him into a dude. Was I able to swing him around at least, though?
No, he actually he got an arm loose and he beat you about the head for 3 points of damage.
Oh no, my head!
Jolly good bludgeoning.
How many hit points do you have?
I have 9.
All right, so
now I have.
You don't
6
take
of
any
9.
wounds. It just rings your bell a little bit. So that's your turn.
I still update it though to 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
So Chuck's still in his state. Howard, go ahead and make that Constitution roll for me.
What would it have been to try and push that? Could I try to push that?
You can't push combat rolls.
Okay.
Nope, I'm dead.
I would just be able to luck it.
All right.
Do you got enough luck to...
Probably not anymore.
40. Actually, yeah, I could use all my luck to get success on that one if that's possible.
Nice.
Yes, it is.
That's what it's
Okay.
for.
That takes me down to 1 luck.
So
I'm
from
still alive.
From Howard's perspective, you just see the bright blue afternoon sky fade to black, and you're unconscious.
Okay.
I will say that trowel, you got lucky. The way it's jabbed into your throat there is actually keeping you from totally bleeding out. But for all intents and purposes, he's out of this sort of thing. So Chuck's madness goes down again. All right, Phil. So you saw your brother Howard. You guys might be distant from each other because he lives in another place, a different life, but you just saw him get a trowel in the throat and fall to the ground, and his eyes close.
Yeah. So. Well, don't matter. He's family. So, yeah, I'm going to try to gun these guys down.
All right. Yeah. So you go ahead and make a listen check for me, though.
Nice.
So, yeah, you're aware of some commotion on the other side of the hut that you're standing at, and you hear, it sounds like Dan's voice as he's kind of cursing and struggling with somebody on the other side of it, just so you're aware of it now, your character is. All right, so, yeah, there's that dude. He jabbed the trowel into your brother's throat, and he kind of looks at him for a moment and looks up at you. But anyhow, you have your action.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot him, because I'm figuring I can't do anything with them. I'm going to call for Chuck. You know, like, Chuck, they got Howard. Chuck.
Running away.
Yep. Let's see. How many shots can I do with this? Just one? Okay. So am I within about 10 yards?
Yeah, you have a bonus die.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So.
Yeah, you hit him. Go ahead and roll that damage. And the only way I found to do the shotguns right in the character sheet is to do a different attack line for each range for feature. You don't have to do it now. Rolling the damage is fine too. All right, 11. So this is, let's see what All right, so this takes him in the chest again, center mass. It blows open his shirt, kind of pops open that jacket, and opens up his rib cage a little bit. But like I say, the wounds are bloodless.
Yeah.
And aside from this force, punching into him, staggers him back a step. He just keeps his grip on that trowel, or I guess it's stuck in his throat. So he's got his fists ready, and he's coming at you.
You killed my brother, Howard.
So, what's Harris's dexterity?
62.
So it's actually Harris's action.
Okay.
Trying to get out of the ropes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be...
So we'll go
Since
hard dex or strength, depending on which way Harris wants to play it.
We'll do strength first. Test the bonds, but now that I am Harris...
Y'all are gonna be sorry.
Yeah, you'll all pay. I didn't want to come here anyway. But yeah, he's gonna be calling out, frantically saying, "What's going on?"
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, you hearing the guns go off, and you see what just happened. So yeah, we'll allow you. This adrenaline allows you to break free of those bonds. You break those ropes up, or I think it was, you guys bound him with rope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're able to wriggle and break out of those ropes, but you do see, just in time to see, one of these guys take a full load of buckshot from Phil. So I'll need a sanity roll from Harris.
Here we go.
Looks around the corner and breaks his mind. Does he have any luck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burn some luck there. Let's see, I need 6 to get it down.
God, you went from a completely crazy to a damn near crazy.
So Harris takes a point of sanity loss. And we'll say that the breaking free was actually his action. And we'll go on to Dan.
All right, so I'm going to try... this time, I'm going to try and take him down to the ground with me, and I'll roll him kind of up over me, and hopefully into whoever that is.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
No, that was...
Oh, that's the guy.
That's the guy. So yeah, I'm going to say, because he got that critical on there, that it does work out where he's between you and the other guy, but he's actually got you pinned now on top of you.
Is this guy like doing wrestling moves back?
Yeah.
No, he's just it's the nerves are kind of messing up your technique, and he's just a bigger guy, and that'll always put you at a disadvantage.
Damn.
All right. Chuck goes off for another round, almost through it. Chuck, hang tight. Mm-hmm. This is Brandon's curse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having to flee.
All right.
He's only got 3 sanity left?
No, it gives a countdown for how long
many
the
turns
effect lasts. All right, so let's have these guys attack you. So this guy that's on top of you, he's going to release, like holding you down, and just get his hands around your throat.
Okay.
So you got an option here, John. You can either dodge and try to get out from under him, or you can do something back to him, or do damage back to him.
So I would like to, since he lets me go, and as he's trying to reach up to my throat, I'll try and as his arm comes close, I'll kind of grab it and try and get it twisted up behind him and roll him back off me.
Okay. Yeah, so your goal works out perfectly. You twist that arm, and that a normal person would respond to the pain, but you just do it all on leverage and just roll him off of you.
Does he hear like anything popping or grinding?
Yeah. So that's what you kind of hear. Like normally you dislocate something and that happens, but it just doesn't affect him that way. Like there's no pain. He doesn't even cling to it. He just lets it hang there dislocated, and he starts trying to scramble up. So that other guy, Carl, that was Carl. This is the foreman. He just kind of slowly pretty much takes the place of the other dude, and he's going to start pounding on you.
Okay.
So Carl's probably broken. Let me make sure that's fixed. Oh, my character sheets.
You can't fix a broken man.
So you can try to do the same thing. You just have a penalty die for doing it again, right?
So, well, what I was thinking this time, and if I have enough, I guess, reaction to it, is I just want to try and like kick his knee out.
Yeah, so roll your brawl skill and do the penalty.
What's the penalty?
It's seat bonus penalty, right? Okay.
What's
All
that
right,
mean?
so in the case of a penalty, you have to take the higher of your 2 rolls, and that rolls another 10s dice, basically. So you got a 70 versus 60.
So can I spend 10 luck?
Yeah.
Okay. Or I guess, would it be 11 luck? Do I need to get at?
You just have to meet or lower.
Okay.
So 10 luck?
Yeah.
All right. So throwing a kick at this guy, you're going to do some damage. Looks like you did 2 damage.
I don't know. It didn't say.
Yeah, if you look at your roll.
That was Carl's roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't do the combat thing.
Yeah, do the combat one real quick. So 1 damage.
Yeah. Still, I mean, it's hopefully it stops him or at least throws him off for a second is what I'm going for, so that he doesn't.
Yeah, it definitely
able to
causes
mount
him
me.
to stumble.
Okay.
All right, back over at Phil, the guy that just seemed to have killed your brother Howard, comes at you with his fists and his exploded chest and rib cage.
So does Howard get one more Constitution check, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you lucked it, remember?
Yeah.
So you're not dying, you're not in threat of death anymore. You're just-
Oh, okay.
yeah. Okay, so it looks like he fumbled, but you have an option. You can't shoot back. You could fight back physically, or you could just try to move out of the area. And the difference, if I haven't stated it yet, is that fighting back is harder. You have to achieve a higher level of success.
Which
It's
is
just
the
regular,
success in
yeah.
this. Yeah. I think I'm going to sort of start retreating a little bit. Not not leaving the area, but just kind of walking
right.
back and shooting. So
So how does skirting south towards that 5-bar gate and where you hear Dan and that commotion sound?
yeah, that sounds pretty good.
All right. So it brings us to your action.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to shoot this guy again. I'll -5 luck.
So what does that mean damage was when it's a decimal like that?
So he put like 4d6/2d6/1d6. It probably rolled each of those and then divided them all in that order. There might be a way for it to actually query you to choose which one to use.
Yeah.
I just don't know it off the top of my head. So yeah, that definitely downs this guy. So it's sort of the same mechanism as last time you went for the sure shot and then you went to put him down on the second shot. So you just blast off the top of his head and he stumbles to his knees, which brings us to Harris.
Can I edit out the multiples there? See if that works.
But yeah, we can go ahead and do your action.
Harris?
Yep.
Yeah, that does work now. Okay.
He's going to be shouting to heaven and back, what in Sam hell's going on around here? What? And, give me a weapon. Give me a weapon.
There should be a 30-06 my 30-06 in the building with you.
Okay.
That's where I left
My
it.
Would he have seen
shotgun is
where
in there too.
where these were put?
They were just leaned up next to the door.
You probably
Okay.
noted it. You were actually fairly cowed by Chuck. So
But
you
Chuck's
were
not
going
here
to...
anymore.
And the way that they behaved, it seemed like you were at least going to get out of this alive. And if you had a sure chance at getting out of there, you were always looking for that angle, but you didn't want to hurt anybody doing it necessarily, or not these guys, because you were worried Chuck was going to come after you with a vengeance. So yeah, you noted where all the weapons were placed as soon as they put you in the corner and told you to be quiet and stay there.
All right, I'll go straight for the shotgun then.
30-06.
30-06?
I have your shotgun currently.
Oh, okay.
It was I believe it was the closest to the door on my way out. Is what?
Oh,
happened.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, then yeah, I'll grab the 30-06.
Well, let's count that as taking up your action, getting that, because you pick it up and you check to see if it's chambered and everything. And we'll move on to Dan. All right, Dan, you have a desperate defense against these two guys back behind the hut. What do you want to do?
So,
10, 20, 50.
After I kicked that guy's knee, did he actually fall?
No, it was a bad angle. I mean,
Okay.
it kept him from moving forward, getting on you, but it just wasn't a good kick, so it didn't knock him down or do any real damage. You could spend your round and you could get clear of the encounter if you wanted.
Sweep the leg.
I was thinking about that, but I know it would probably be better if I could get around to you.
I agree with that.
I'd say actually you see Phil kind of backing up. He's coming to the corner towards the 5-bar gate
Okay.
there, and he's got a shotgun pointed the other direction. So you see he's there. He's not quite looked over and seen what's going on.
Okay. So yeah, I'll would I be able to get his attention and get myself away from this encounter?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'll do is I'll like roll off and get up and run over to Phil and make sure that he's aware that there's these two guys as well. And that's my turn.
All right, Chuck. So you're starting to get this nagging thought that's sort of beginning to pierce through the blanket of fear that's covering your mind, but you can't quite materialize the thought yet.
Okay.
Does the thought sort of sound like my high-pitched cries for
That's
help?
not my thought at all. Okay, so let's have...
Well, it's his thought. It's just that it sounds like his brother pleading for help.
All right, so Phil, Dan draws your attention by like, hey, there's two over here. And he moves to get clear. And one of them takes off after you, Dan.
Okay.
And the other one comes up to you, Phil.
Do I have one more from Howard's direction as well?
No, you gun both those down.
Okay.
So this one's going to come up on you.
All right.
This is Carl, the foreman. And
Carl.
he's going to try to grab a hold of you. But it's real clumsy. You can try to fight back if you want to hit him with your shotgun or something. Like hit him with the butt of it. But
Yeah, so what would that be? Would it still be the rifle shotgun skill, or would it be
brawl.
brawl? Let's see. Where is it? There it is. 40. Might as well. Nope. So yeah, kind of
Right, yeah.
get locked.
Yeah, locked up there. Which brings us to your action. So the guy that went on you, you're moving fast enough that he doesn't make it up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you're like saying, "Come on, we gotta clear out" or something. So he's just right on your heels, and we'll say the obvious direction, if you're in a somewhat panicked state, would to be to go the way Chuck's going. So you're angling towards that hill to the west.
Okay.
And anyhow, brings us to Phil's action.
Well, I guess I can say it now. I'll yell at Dan, like, what was it? Get Howard's rifle.
Okay.
And I'll shoot the one I'm kind of locked up with. I'll kind of break my gun away and
Okay.
put one into him. Okay.
All right.
And then I'll start backing up towards where I just came from now.
All right. Yeah. So we'll say you don't quite get it full for that shot, but you actually blow off his arm from like here down. And,
What is it to reload? Is it an action? Does it take your shot?
so you have that tubular magazine with that thing, so you can load 2 rounds in an action into it, or you can load 1 and shoot in the same round, but you'll have a penalty die.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right, Harris, you got that 30-06 now. You hear a whole bunch of commotion coming from the south side of the hut you're still currently standing in.
Another gunfire from or was it around the back of where he is or something?
All right. So as I walk out of the office, I'll be racking a shell in to get ready. And the first person I see as I walk around the corner that isn't one of the Jenkins brothers or Dan, I'm going to take a shot at.
All right, so there's a decision to make, because when you see the closest one, he's wrapped up with Phil at the moment. So if you shoot into a circumstance like that, you'll be doing it at penalty. A little further away, but still within the range of that 30-06, you see a guy chasing after Dan They're heading up that hill to the west.
Okay, so the one that Phil had just shot is still tangled with him?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Let's see, what's his...
Let's see. You might not really like me right now. We were sort of friends, but I did just arrest you.
Can I walk up and try and use the butt of the gun to knock...
Absolutely.
To knock the guy that's attacking?
Just go ahead and use your brawl skill.
Okay. So yeah, I'll come up and try and help Phil. You know, they captured me, but they didn't mistreat me or shoot me or anything like that. So,
and you do have somewhat of a prior relationship with Phil.
I'll use luck to.
All right.
What is? I didn't have a brawl. Is it 1d4?
So roll. Your damage is going to be. Do you have a damage bonus?
It'd be from size, right?
Damage bonus is 1d4.
So you're going to roll your total damage for hitting him with the butt of that rifle would be 1d3 plus 1, and then your damage bonus. So roll 1d3, 1d4, and then add 1 to it.
That is not how you do it.
Slash.
Yeah,
/R works.
There's also the...
And then 1d3 plus 1. But you could do that all in one string.
That's true.
1d4, and then I'll add the bonus in. So it's 1d3 plus 1, 1d4, and that's it?
Yep.
Okay. So a total of 8.
All right, so you had a good dip, so you get like a run, so you actually charge into it and crash the butt of that rifle into Carl's head. He was the foreman that they were talking to before everything went to hell. And you hear like something go wrong in his neck as it recoils from the blow you just delivered, and he drops to the ground. Dan, this guy's hot on your heels.
All right. So I see Harris. Is that right, Harris? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Harris coming around the corner, and
you're vaguely aware of it. You're pretty preoccupied with getting away from this guy. You do see, because it's in the direction you're running, that Chuck is sort of scrambling up a steep part of that hill, maybe 50 yards ahead of you.
Okay. So, but I know that the foreman's not after me anymore, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'll do kind of like a quick turn and try and put my shoulder into this guy, kind of up towards
knock him down.
Upper chest, and just try and drop him down to the ground.
All right, give me a brawl roll.
Jeez. How does that work?
You just were both ineffective.
Minus that luck.
Let's see, what do I need? 9? Yeah, still got 14.
I'm not going to need that.
Nope. Sure won't. All right, so I'll drain 9 of that luck to succeed.
Okay, roll your damage for me.
Like sands through the hourglass, so too is our luck.
Did that roll? Yeah, okay. 2 damage.
Oh, wait, you weren't... Sorry, you were going for a maneuver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you push him, you get him knocked down, and he rolls a distance down the hill before he gets a hold of himself, and that moves on to Chuck. Oh, that thought is so close to crystallizing in your mind, but not quite.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. This guy's going to try to get up on you, John, but we will see how he does. Yes.
So what is he doing?
Despite you knocking him down and moving a ways off,
He's a machine. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it's somewhat alarming, and he's going to try to get a hold of you.
Is he like a hobbyist fighter or something? That's a...
Well, that's his constitution.
Oh, constitution, okay.
And yeah, no, it didn't roll. There it is, yeah. So you got a hard success. He's just trying to stop you from getting away to grab onto you for this round. Did you want to fight back or just try to dodge out of the way?
That's dumb. Well, I forgot all
back.
about the dodge. Yeah, I rolled it right before. I was trying to find out what
well, we can
hard
keep the roll.
success
What's
is.
your dodge?
So my dodge
You'd still need a hard success on it, though.
Yeah. Where is dodge?
I do like these
there it is.
success, hard success, extreme successes.
I think that I think I'll try and I'll try and trip him up again as we'll keep that as an actual brawl. What would it be for a hard success for that?
Well, you'd actually need an extreme success
Oh.
since you're defending in this case.
Yeah, okay, that's not happening.
Yeah, so it just it's ineffective, and he didn't deal any damage to you, but he got a hold of you.
Okay.
So you're in his grip at the beginning of your next turn, which brings us to Phil. Doing a quick scan, there's nothing nearby. Last thing that happened is Harris knocked that guy out cold. Sounded like he snapped his neck with the force of his blow. But you do see Dan being chased by a guy up that hill. It's not going to be a clean shot if you take it with your shotgun.
Yeah, I don't want to risk it, so I'll go running up. And is there a way to aid in this, or would I just join the brawl?
They've been a couple rounds from you, so you're not going to be able to get there this turn, but you can angle that way.
Roll a super constitution like the machine did.
What is that you're trying to tell me, Dan? Take the shot?
Yes.
Take the shot?
Take the shot.
I'll take the shot.
Sweep the leg.
I'll start moving up. Actually, I can't. I'm going to move up and load 2 shells in.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right, Harris.
So, kind of scanning around, there's no one other than this one last
Right.
person, right?
Although, again, you see Dan, one of these guys that led you here, being chased by a dude you didn't get a good look at. You don't recognize him or anything. For you, the shot's possible, but it would be at penalty. There's a chance you could mess up and hit
Yeah.
Dan.
Seeing 2 Harris boys and another person against one smaller miner, I'm going to take this as my opportunity to get away.
Okay.
And I'm going to flee straight north. Up past the hole and on into the woods above, north of that.
I should mention to you guys that beyond that 5-bar gate, you do see the truck that guy was driving. It's sort of pulled off the path onto the grass. Just
If I go on any road, then someone's going to find me and haul me into the sheriff.
okay. So you're just you're gonna tear off to the north.
Yeah, I figure Sidney Harris would be a lot more comfortable trying to flee into the woods and disappearing that way.
All right, you start moving that way. A thought enters your head, though. That ransom money, you're not sure what they did with it. If they left it in the lodge, or who had a hold of it. Who had a hold of it?
I think Dan did.
I had it.
Yeah.
Yep. Or no, I handed it off to you.
Oh,
That's right.
I guess I got it.
The thought enters your head. You can make the decision about what you want to do. Just guessing how you would think Harris might react.
First, yeah, I just want to get to tree line cover,
Okay, yeah.
first of all.
You can make it. If you go north, you have to cross that whole clearing, so that's going to take you a couple rounds.
Yeah, that's fine.
right.
But yeah, sprinting as fast as I can.
All right, Dan, that guy's got you locked in.
All right. We'll try for a reversal on
Okay.
him, and then go from there. Man. All right.
Might as well luck it.
Yeah. Hey, I got enough for that. Yeah. So I'll spend my 4 of the 5 and succeed.
All right, so you scramble around and get a hold of him. You reverse it on him. All right, Chuck, you finally... That counter's at 0 now because it happens on your turn, but you finally get that thought, and then that's that you're leaving your brothers.
Yeah.
What am I doing? What do you want to do? So you've almost reached the very top where it says to the hideout of that hill. So you can see all of the clearing before you. The closest to you, Dan and another guy, you didn't get his name, but he was the fellow that was standing by the 5-bar gate when you guys first arrived. They're struggling,
Okay.
going back and forth with each other. You see Sidney Harris running like a bat out of hell across the clearing. He's got a rifle in his hand, and you can just make out Phil down by the hut where you fled from.
Yeah.
Well, he's moving away from it, loading shells into his shotgun.
Right. Well, I have to run back at full speed. And I guess I'll run toward Dan since he's the closest. And Phil seems to be doing just fine with his shotgun.
What's your movement?
So I'll, pull out my axe and start running.
What's your movement? Is it 8?
Yeah.
So what? You can go 40 yards. So that's like 90 feet. So yeah, you can get up to a point to where in the next round you'll be able to act to aid Dan this round.
Okay.
And get your axe readied and everything like that. All right, Dan, he's going to try to break out of that grip you got him in.
Okay.
He failed, though. Did you want to try to counter?
Yeah.
So you still got a grip on him. What do you want to do to him now?
So, what I'd like to try and do is kind of sweep his leg, right?
Sweep the leg.
Yeah. But I want to come down with, on his back, basically. So I'll come down
So
with
get him down on the ground, but you'll be in the advantageous position.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me your brawl roll. All right, you got it.
All right.
So you're on his back.
Take his back.
And that'll move us on to Phil.
All right. I'm going to keep walking up.
Okay, load a couple more shots.
Yeah, 2 more.
All right, Harris, you can make the tree line at the end of this turn.
Okay. Once I make the tree line, I'll turn around, kind of survey the situation.
All right, so yeah, you see Dan and this other man. Dan looks like he's got the upper hand at the moment. You see Chuck running down the hill with his axe in his hand. He's almost upon Dan and this other fella. And you see Phil moving quickly up the hill, loading shells into his gun. Is there any action you wanted to take besides your movement?
Not this round.
Okay. All right, Dan, you got the upper hand on this. What's your next move?
All right. So, at this point, as he's had plenty of opportunity to let me alone, so I'm gonna try and
We'll see. We'll say before you do something. We'll say you kind of see Chuck coming down.
okay.
I'm a madman.
There's a way you might be able to sort of set it up where, because you see that axe in Chuck's hand,
Okay.
that you might be able to give him a bonus or something.
All
when
right.
He goes to, if he plans to plant that axe.
Push his head up.
Yeah. Then so what I'll do then is I'll try and like wrap him up by his neck and wrap him up by his legs and just kind of bend so that his body's
Midsection.
extended out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Put your brawl. Excellent. Yeah, you got him in an advantageous position for
Nice.
Chuck, who's barreling down that hill, comes up on you. Chuck, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I'll put my axe into that fella that's wrestling with Dan.
All right. Roll your fighting axe skill.
Okay. Jesus.
Does he have the advantage though?
You do have a bonus die. That's true. So you
So
probably
please roll another 100.
Would that go into like Dan's arm?
To get right into my shoulder.
okay. So you turn that. Luckily, with that bonus die, the situation that Dan created for you turns what could have been a fumble into a 40 versus 75. So you have a regular success there.
And did 4 damage.
Yeah, and it looks like it deals him 4 damage.
Really? Wanted Dan to lose an arm.
That would have been funny as heck.
This is a pretty brutal
So I didn't.
crowd here.
Yeah, it just, you were kind of, you misjudged it just a little bit, so you didn't quite plant the bit into his flesh, and it slides across that shirt and it opens it up like a big gash. And when you see that coat and the shirt open, you can see there's already a wound there, like he's been impaled by something in the recent past. All right, let's get rid of Chuck's madness counter. Okay, so he's in a bad way. He's going to try to break free of that, Dan. Let's see how he does. He just can't get out. You got an opportunity to...
So I'm gonna apply some. Apply more pressure on the neck, and try and. I'll try and choke him out
Okay.
at this point.
So, yeah, what we're going to do is an opposed test between your brawl skill and his constitution.
Okay. But
To see if you can choke him.
Constitution.
Yeah, he manages to stay conscious. You just don't quite have it locked in there yet. So, Phil, you got 4 rounds loaded in that shotgun.
And I'll be able to reach him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, it seems like Chuck came to his senses, and now you got the 3 of them there scrapping.
Well, I'm figuring I probably can't shoot without hitting either Chuck or Phil or Dan. So I'm going to walk up and I'm going to try to brawl the guy.
Yeah.
And do I get advantage on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll get 1 bonus. Or actually, you're going to get 2, because you guys now outnumber them 3-1.
31 under 40. That's a hit. And was it 1d3 plus 1?
Yeah, plus your damage bonus.
I don't have one.
Okay.
So 2 more.
All right, so yeah, you got Dan's trying to choke him out. Chuck grazed him with that axe. You come and batter him with the butt of your shotgun. And he's just moving with the blows, but seems fixed on his purpose.
Get out from under there, Dan. And I'll, at the end of my turn, I'll rack the shotgun and lower it, or aim it.
Okay.
And after I tell Dan to get out from under there. And that's my turn.
Harris.
All right, so I'm going to try and find a good vantage point where I might be able to level the rifle at all 3 of them while I'm trying to figure out who exactly had who had the money the last time.
Okay. What do you think you would have done with that, Phil, once you had a hold of it and you guys got to that?
It's probably in the front pocket of my overalls.
Okay, so I'll give Harris, if he succeeds at an intelligence check, he'll remember that.
Not even close.
So yeah, the last thing you remember was Dan bringing it out of your guys' cabin, the hideout, but you lost track of it from that point on.
I like to imagine that's because Chuck is occasionally like looming big in his vision with that axe.
But you have a good vantage point where you are at, you're down elevated. They have the high ground, but did you want to keep moving on that tree line or?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the tree line, but I'm going to start circling back around towards where the cabins were.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think you're just looking for any excuse to shoot me again, Justin.
Yep. Actually, I figure he doesn't really want to kill you.
Yeah.
Or hurt any of you guys. He just wants...
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, me?
You just want to shoot me again.
Dan, you want to try to sink in that choke this time? You can feel... I guess maybe what you start thinking is if this guy's like the living dead, maybe cutting off blood or air is not going to do anything.
I was going to say,
I also told you to move.
Yeah, Phil's told me to get out of the way, and he's racked that shotgun. So, I'm gonna try and wiggle out of this without without myself getting caught and without him being able to kind of break out. Right?
Oh, okay.
As far as getting away from us.
Yeah, you can have no problem moving out of the area. I'll say maybe like you're trying, like as you get off of him, you're going to plant a boot in his back and make sure he's sprawled flat. Yeah. Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your brawl.
Ugh.
All right, he's got an opportunity.
Wiggly.
We'll see if he can do it.
Oh.
So yeah, he just reaches out, tries to grab you, but he just clobbers you upside the head for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
All right, Chuck, you did hear Phil. Phil told Dan to move back to clear this line of fire.
Yeah.
You still got a good angle with that axe if you wanted to strike again.
I sure do.
Okay.
Take another swing like firewood.
Yep. Nice.
You also, if you want to, well, might as well.
Would I have a bonus on that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to give it to you. Sorry, go ahead and roll it.
All right. 1.
You guys have 2 now. So there you go. So yeah, you get him laid out on the ground and you clear out. All right, but you don't take the 2 damage. You can put that back.
Nice.
All right, Chuck. So yeah, you want to roll those 2 bonuses on there? Maybe we can get a extreme or critical. You see where it says okay.
That would at least be a hard.
What's your extreme? So 29's your best.
So 20 is what he would have gotten, right?
I'm trying to do the math in my head for a fifth. What is that, like 14?
25 would be, or yeah,
What, like a fifth of 75?
Yeah.
15 would be.
Okay, this time, well, you're going to deal a major wound to him, if not quite outright kill him. Is there any way you envision that happening with how you imagine Chuck attacking him? Like, are you going to lop off a limb, or are you going to sink the bit of that axe into his chest?
Yeah, well, I would have been aiming right for his head.
Okay.
So I went low and got it into his chest then.
Okay.
Or I could shave the top of his head off.
I like that one.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. You cut like a...
Actually, you know what happened is I went right into his forehead, but sometimes when you don't hold the axe tight, it'll glance in your hands and spin a little.
So it kind of
And it
scoops
just
out.
pops a big wedge of his skull off is what happened.
Yeah, so you see, I mean, you're immune to the sanity loss since you're already aware and took the negative penalties for it, but you see that that's a bloodless wound and there's no blood flowing out of it once you scoop that section of his skull out.
Do the brains look off-colored?
No, they look just devoid of fluid, basically.
Okay, a
sort
little
of.
bit dry.
Yeah.
But not quite completely dry type thing. So it hasn't been too long.
Okay, so this guy, he was kind of getting up on one knee when you cut that wedge or whatever out of his skull there. And he pauses for a moment. He says, "It's not too late. You can still join us." And we'll bring it to Phil.
All right. Yeah, I'll pull the trigger in response. I know it might wreck the levity of it, but I gotta say it. Hail to the king. And do I still have the bonuses, or do they not count?
That was for the melee type combat, but you did 12 damage, which definitely seems to end this thing's life. How does that play out in your imagination, Phil?
I say it says its thing, and then Phil just basically puts the barrel of the shotgun like about at the bridge of his nose and just pulls the trigger.
Okay, so yeah, his head disappears into a mist of bone fragments and bloodless flesh, and the corpse topples to the ground, seemingly dead.
And I will immediately go running back towards Howard and try to start patching up that wound if he's still alive. Even if he isn't alive, I still probably would try to.
All right, so you, Phil starts crashing down the hill. You, Chuck, were not quite aware. You went into your panic flight state, so you just didn't see what had happened to Howard.
Right.
And Dan, you just never caught sight of it because you ran to the backside of those huts.
Okay.
So Harris, you see them, or at least Phil, start heading back to the cabins. Are you going to do anything or just maintain the vigil?
Gonna try and stay hidden. But yeah, just try not to be seen if I have a good chance to move to a new location.
Yeah, you're moving up. I'm having you move up that hill along the forest line because you said you wanted to skirt to the south side of those cabins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're moving up the hill to the west.
But yeah, I kind of want to make sure that there's as much of this clearing between me and Chuck Jenkins there as possible.
Okay. Yep, you got plenty of room. So, Phil, when you get down there, you can see what has happened more clearly. You know, your adrenaline's still coursing through you, but you see that trowel sticking out of his neck, and it's trickling blood out of it slowly. And you want to try first aid.
Yeah.
You know Chuck had the kit that you guys got from the hunter.
So I'll, Chuck, get down here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have followed him right away anyway.
I don't think it matters. I think he doesn't even know really what's going on around him right now.
Okay, Chuck, so you see, when you catch up to him, you see that Howard's taken an injury. He has a trowel, the pointy end still sticking in his neck.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that, like, it widens out, and then there's that, it lifts up in a handle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sticking right there.
Okay. Yeah, so... Yeah, I guess I'll go sliding up to him and start praying, I guess.
So...
and I have the first aid kit, so...
So yeah, Phil, you'll have the first opportunity to do the first aid if you want. I'll leave it up to you whether you got the presence of mind to get that kit from Phil or if you're sort of working frantically here.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be I'm going to have to do what I have to do type of thing. So
Okay.
I won't have the foresight to...
Okay. So yeah, throw your first aid out there.
18. I will minus that.
Does the
Use luck?
first aid
Yeah.
kit give bonus?
Yeah, bonus to the roll.
So, yeah, it's a success.
Okay, so yeah, you see that the puncture with the trowel still in there probably saved him from bleeding out. And you give a rational thought that if you remove it, you're going to have to quickly get it bound up and, keep pressure on it, keep it from bleeding like that. And it's just a matter of luck whether or not it caught something that you're not going to be able to do anything about. And in this case, luck is in your favor because you spent some of it, and you're able to get that trowel out of his neck and get pressure on it. And now Howard may survive the scenario yet, but you're going to be unconscious for a little while. You could try to rouse him. There's smelling salts and stuff in there in the first aid kit.
I don't know if I would know about that type of stuff. So yeah, we need to get him back to town or something.
Yeah, so I'll, if I see that he's taking care of him, I'll dart out and see if I can find that truck.
Okay. Yeah, as I had mentioned, you guys were all vaguely aware of seeing it parked on the other side of that gate.
Yeah.
Just pulled off the trail.
All right. So I'll just dart over to that and fire it up.
All right, Dan, what did you want to do when you come up on this scene?
So, I remember that I had seen Harris, but I don't quite see him now. So, I'm going to start looking about to see, if maybe he got hurt or what happened to him.
All right, so amongst the corpses there, you don't see any sign of Harris.
Okay. See, I'll survey the surrounding area as I start to make my way back towards the foreman's shack there.
Okay, yeah, he's not in the clearing or anything like that. He's just too distant and in the tree line for it to be even possible. Well, you can throw a spot hidden out there, and if you get a critical, then we'll see what happens. We've always got to allow for the 1% chance.
Spot hidden.
So yeah, you just can't catch a glimpse of him. You have no idea. You were being chased, so you didn't quite get a good look at him fleeing across or which direction he fled to.
Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured is, but I don't know if maybe he's still back over here. But I'll head back over towards that foreman's cabin where everybody else is.
All right, and
hanging out around.
Chuck, you can get that vehicle started. It might even be like push to start or something. I'm not sure if they had keys quite yet.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, you can get the ignition going, wind it up, and you drive it. You'll have to lift that gate, but then you can drive it right up to Phil and Howard.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Has the dynamite been removed from the bed?
Yes.
Okay.
The bed is clear.
Yeah, so I'll hop out and start shouting. We got to get him back to town right away. Who can drive here?
Well, we all can drive.
Who can drive better than me? Mine's a 20.
Yeah, mine's a 20. Sorry. Let me double check that.
Yeah, we don't drive.
No, I've got a 35.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to because the road's bad.
Drive.
All right. I'll pick up Howard and carry him over to the truck and put him in the bed. Then I'll go grab my shotgun and I'll hop in the back with him, keep him stable or whatnot.
Yeah, I'll be back there too. Probably don't fit in the front.
Nah.
And then I'll say, where did Harris get off to? But I saw him making for the trees.
Yeah.
Let him rot.
Yeah, I'm not interested in him anymore.
All right, so the Jenkins boys and, well, the two standing Jenkins boys and Dan Carroll get the wounded.
As Dan comes out of the manager's shack, I was going to kind of take a shot in the vicinity and shout across the clearing, "Hey, you city folk, you reporter, drop the money that was from the handoff and I'll let you go peaceful like."
All right, so you hear that, you all hear that shot ring out. And Dan, you're sort of close enough to notice that it came closer to you, I suppose, right?
Like I was just kind of aiming for the building. So
like you would kind of hear the whine of it pass in your vicinity where you guys don't necessarily hear that.
Okay.
And then you hear a voice ring out from the west up that hill somewhere in the forest.
But yeah, I'll follow it up with, "I don't want to hurt nobody, but I will if I have to."
So I'll shout out, Harris, you come on out of there. So I'll forgive that wide shot you made there, but yeah, this is over.
And I'll shout out, "If I go back with you, I'm as good as dead. I'm going back to brush."
So, what happened to the plan? We're going to tell your story.
You got my story?
Harris, there ain't nothing but dead things out in these woods. You saw it.
I still got better odds in these woods than I do in those jail cells.
Really?
Probably, yeah. If I was part of shooting killing two police officers, then that's probably a death sentence right there.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather die normal than become a walking corpse.
Well, fine. I'll for my part, I'll tell him, call out to him that if you're foolish enough to stay out here with these things, then you go on right ahead. Let's just go.
I need the money first.
Yeah, at this point, I want to scream out, "Harris, we don't have time for this. We got to get my brother back to town. If you don't leave us alone, I'm going to come up there and carve your face off."
You know what? I'm going to throw the money out.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want it.
All right.
So yeah, you would see Phil reaches in to his overalls and pulls out a satchel, throws it on the ground.
Yeah, I'll just throw it over the bed of the truck.
Okay. And with that, I'll shout out, "All right, you all be on your way. Take care of your brother there. I wish you the best."
All right, so you guys have a choice. You can travel west to Arlington or east to Wardsboro. That would be the closest towns. Or sorry, reverse that. West to Arlington, east to Wardsboro.
Yeah. What's
So we're
looks
at
like
9.
they're about
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about the same.
about the same.
Where'd you guys come from? You guys came
From
from
the south.
Bennington.
Yeah, Bennington.
Okay.
But is that a county line or is that a state? Oh, county line.
That's
Okay.
county line right there.
Let's
Which one's the bigger of the two? The most likely to have an actual hospital.
Wardsboro is just a logging town. Arlington's a little bigger.
All right, so Arlington.
yeah, let's go west.
Go Arlington.
But that said, I'm kind of like, I don't know if Phil wants to stay in town. Like, we kind of lost Harris, but I don't think he wants to lose Strong's daughter to whatever this is. Like, at least something to show that they did some sort of success.
Okay.
I don't know. I think he's kind of the type that once he has the whatever it is, kind of in his hands, he doesn't want to kind of just let it go. And,
Gotcha.
like the trail or whatever, And so we kind of know where she was taken off towards a direction, I believe, right?
Yeah, the last indication you had of her is you saw one of her footprints when you were following the trails.
At 8.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it would have been between 8 and 9, going in the direction of 9.
You know what? That might not be completely undoable. I might get off on the way to Arlington
Okay.
and start tracking from 8.
So that's the plan. What's Harris going to do?
And then grab the money and then look for any supplies that he might be able to scrounge out of the cabins before he heads north.
So the story began with the evil that runs through the heart of man. Greed, avarice, kidnapping, and betrayal. And it continued with good folk seeking to ensure justice was meted out. No one knows quite what happened from that point on. Sure, you can get the stories from the folks that came back from the woods surrounding Green Mountain, but can you believe them? They tell of horrors that there are no words to describe. In the end, nothing changed, except that some folk went missing in the woods, and that is hardly a new story. If you ask Chuck and Howard Jenkins what happened, they might say they fought and killed men who were dead yet walked. Or more likely, they would say nothing at all. Ever after, Chuck could no longer bear the sight of a corpse. Sometimes, Chuck, you'd come across a dead deer or even a rabbit and shudder at the thought of it suddenly animating. For many weeks after, your dreams were haunted by men with grievous wounds that would pause and ask you to join them. Howard, you returned to Boston and sought the help of professionals. For months, you could not reconcile your life as it had been for what it became. Eventually, with the best help that money could buy, you returned to something like normalcy. Phil, you couldn't let it go that night. And if you were to ask Phil this day, and if he'd be willing to tell you, he might say that he heard another blast in the night when he stayed in Harris's cabin, and that when he returned to Lucas Strong's dig site the following morning, it was destroyed. The hole was closed, the huts blown to bits. All he found was a group of footprints in the muddy shores of the lake that traveled to and beyond the waterline, disappearing into the dark depths. Jane Strong was never seen from again. The survey team was never seen from again, and Sidney Harris was never seen again. Folks don't think too much about it in the weeks that passed or the months that passed. After all, folks in Bennington County say that the heart of darkness lies amidst the ancient trees. The end. Thank you guys for playing.
Thanks for Game Master.
Thanks, man. That was really good. It's always so brutal as this one. I keep forgetting how like some of that stuff's pretty.
All of it's deadly.
It was a good kind of Lovecraftian ending, though, where nothing was really... Right.
This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.